Where did we leave off?
Excellent soundtrack. So last we left off, we were standing outside of a inn tavern. Stepping inside, checking it out. There's a whole bunch of dead bodies everywhere, dried out husks. I can't remember if we made a clambering noise or got too close, but they came to life and started trying to eat us. After fighting with them for a little bit, another person with another body came down from upstairs to downstairs, joined us, and we started fighting and killed them all. His name was Zerdos, a Maul, former gift escapee that has been sustaining himself off of berries here, and with him, and everyone else, we went to where the berries mainly were, so we can get rations, so he can leave. And that's where we met Maynard. And
the D is silent on that, by the way.
Maynard.
Yeah, Maynard.
So we went and spoke to Maynard for a while in his living tree hut area for berries, and this living tree ants that are there. I think that's about it.
Okay, cool.
He's been he's been sustaining his area by bringing the dead in and feeding them into the ground. That's why it's so, I guess, lush here.
Even the druids are real metal in Dark Sun.
We walk on the ground of 10,000 dead was something that he said to us. And he's been here for a long ass time.
I think the phrase was as many gifts as there are leaves in a tree. Okay. Feel free to.
He's from.
Oh, go ahead.
He's from. I'm looking for the name of the town. I don't know if I wrote it down.
Gistinol.
Yeah, but like in current day, it's New Gistinol, and I think he wasn't even aware that there's a new version of Gistinol. He's from the old one.
True.
And the old Gistinol got destroyed somehow, but we don't know how. I think.
Yeah, based on Astos's research, he knew about a new Gistinol and being built underneath the ruins of an old Gistinol.
Oh yeah, and then before he bailed on us by putting out a box of dirt and turning into a worm and burying it into the ground. But before he did that, he mass cure wounded everybody and enhanced ability us. So that's where we left off with a nice little
very thorough notes. If you ever feel like adding to the session notes, you'll have that.
We also got a cactus plant that only gives one seed every time it's used, but it's like really good food.
Oh, so the cactus plant is his flesh. What Zerdos was picking was not a cactus. It was this sort of fragile looking fruit-bearing plant. No thorns or anything like that.
Yeah, it's like a seed, basically, if I remember correctly.
It's like a pit, really.
Yeah, and basically you can plant it and you get a fruit and it can heal one person, and then you get a seed, and then it's like
yeah. So it's a pit that basically grows into a plant that bears one fruit, and you eat the fruit, and there's a pit inside.
Yeah.
And so the pit sort of gets recycled.
Unless some ignorant balls just bowing them down.
Just nice, and then chucks it behind him.
Hey, if Dunkel was here, I swear he'd be like, "Hey, we could make ale out of this," and then just start selling it.
Yeah, it's good shit.
Yeah.
Puree it for some good healing juice. All right, feel free to act in the world. I'm setting things. Also, I can apparently pause things, which is cool. I can pause the game.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. So it's like, everybody stop fucking moving around. I did that on accident and I panicked. I was like, how is this happening?
What time of day is it?
It is getting close to evening. The sun will be setting somewhat soon.
Is the fire supposed to be there?
No, I think someone planted it. It's gone now.
Well, we should get going now before the gift gets here. Don't think we really have time to rest.
To rest. Nice, fresh from that magic blessing from the druid.
So is it to the pit then? So we get in, get out, and then to the tower nearby.
Yeah, the tower, the pits. The tower's on the way to the pits. You would hit the tower first, but you can go around the tower, to the crater.
Do we want to go to the
So,
tower first, or?
What, a whole day before the gift gets here?
They get here tomorrow, don't they?
We can't be in the
They
crater.
probably roughly. I would say anyone who's trained in like maybe survival or has like kind of a clock in their internal clock in their head, which is somewhere between one of y'all trackers or Ostos, can tell that probably around like same time tomorrow is when the gift will arrive.
Okay.
Well,
But it's
we.
not gonna be like taken as soon as it arrives. It takes some time to organize 1,000 people from each.
Not if you
city
just
into
kick
Unless
them
they've
into a
already-
crater.
Unless they've already organized it.
Well, somebody has more or less witnessed
Yeah.
the event, so you could ask them.
That's true.
We
That's
can't be
probably-
there. It's not an orderly march into the crater. It's fire everybody in there and make sure they don't climb back out. Run like hell. We want to be in and out before. Be in and out before they show up.
Does it happen in the morning or midday, evening?
It was midday last time.
Can I fill you in on some information, Zertus? Just because this information is, we're getting into like very detailed information. It happens at sundown, like as the sun sets.
Okay, I will. Happens at sundown, just as the sun sets.
Well, then we have.
I didn't know they drill you so hard for information.
I was just gonna start
I
lying
should've
and
known
roll
better.
with it. So
No, I appreciate the ability to.
Did you see any beasts or creatures around the crater?
the only thing I saw the last time, and I was already out of I was not in the crater, but as the sun was setting, there was just a giant shape flying overhead. I almost couldn't bring myself to look at it. It was terrifying. It sounded like leathery wings, and
Sorry. I'm having a discussion with my friend. I'm sorry, my mom's interrupting me.
I ran, and
Well, I'm glad that you did.
He ran
and
so
tried to
far
get
away.
I just tried to get under cover. The thought of that thing, whatever it was, seeing me was terrifying.
So, Astos, we should probably head to the tower first. What do you think?
I'm thinking we should head to the crater first, because if we go there, then we can get out of there sooner, and before anyone gets around the edges of it. And also, if we go to the tower afterwards, while they're all outside and staging themselves for the next evening, we could possibly see where this Coggy individual might be. If we can make him out, that'll be up to how good BC's eyes are. So I think hitting up the crater first and then using the vantage point of the tower afterwards to possibly see someone is our best bet.
I would, if we have to go in the crater, we need to do it right away. I don't want to end up stuck in there.
Well, depending on how far it is, I should have enough rope, or we should have enough rope to climb back in there and out, right?
Yeah.
if we need it. Maybe it's just a bunch of stairs, you know?
Nice orderly fashion.
Yeah. Did you
Also,
want...
So which way do we need to go?
I would know this, but I don't know cardinality. So I'll
The
We need to
fog,
head-
the fog makes things rough. At this point, Zerdos, you would actually need a survival check just to get your way out of this fog,
Well, Oh, never mind.
so that you could be back on track. So you may need the help of one of the sort of like trackers,
That's mine.
because this fog is fucking you up. Otherwise, you'd be able to know.
Okay. I gave you a roll. I do have survival as a efficiency, so
Okay, go ahead
don't
and.
know.
Oh, you just rolled it now. And it's blind. Nah, just kidding.
I'm blind from this fog.
So Zerdos, despite that the fog obscures the way, you kind of remember in your own sort of mind map where things are spatially. And you remember we approach the house from this direction, which means that the tower is more or less northeast.
Relay that to the group.
Out of
Uh,
character,
Going
I
this
thought
way.
it was northwest, so I would have just guessed.
Is it still muddy?
Yes,
I'm gonna roll around in the mud some more.
beautiful. You are caked in it.
I am a dirty, grubby toddler. Excellent.
Actually, Beastie has the right idea, because we could probably hide in all this mist. And I'm going to just kneel down and get myself all muddy. Here, Astos, do you want me to help you?
No, I
Fun.
think
It's really
Pick up a
fun.
handful of mud and fling it.
Me too.
Oh gosh.
Helio, do you try to
I am-
evade this?
I'm actively trying to evade this.
I want you guys to give me attack rolls as if you're doing a ranged attack roll on Ostos.
Sure.
Don't worry, it's not high to not high to
What's
I'll-
your AC, Ostos?
11.
I'll just use a longbow, because why not?
Sure.
I just used my unarmed.
Oh, I guess I should
Wow.
have done that.
Ostos, despite you trying to duck out of the way, you are hit squarely in the face by one and center mass by another.
And then I'm just gonna stand up and say, here, let me help you. And I'm gonna just start smearing the mud all over his clothes, on his
That's so
shoulders.
bad.
Take
I'm
some.
just gonna stand there rejectedly staring at her. Like,
All right.
thanks.
3 of you are now caked
What?
in mud.
Are you doing?
We're gonna-
Where you go?
Looking like the dead, maybe?
There. I'm gonna start smearing Zerds in mud too.
Lexi's character will follow suit.
Nope.
She let me, I think, use her character last time, so I'm just going to hold that permission open and let her go into bot mode.
We're going to disguise ourselves with the mud, and then that way we can hide from anything.
It'll throw off scent too.
Hmm.
Also, it's wet, and I'm gonna splash in the puddle.
And it's
Zerdos is going to
it's-
look down, and he's got a lot of like exposed skin. It's very smooth because he's hairless like a mole, so he's all right if you're like smearing the mud on his arms or his legs, but he doesn't really want it smeared on his like. He's kind of got that like gladiator kind of like leather kilt like leg armor and his like chest armor. He's like,
just the skin.
if it's like rubbing
Terminator mode.
mud on his skin, he's okay, but he'll kind of.
You
fend your
definitely
hand
have
off
to
if you're
go
going
with
for
like
the,
you definitely have to go with like the muddy face, like Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. Definitely.
I'm too short to reach that.
I'm not going to voluntarily mud my face up, especially knowing that it's like basically zombie juice. That's a little disgusting to me.
No, it's
Well,
mud.
it's zombie compost, which is maybe even worse. So as you go digging in, give me an investigation. Just everybody give me an investigation, just for the hell of it.
Lovely. Because I think we asked for mud. I don't know. Beastie asked for mud, maybe.
Yeah, but he.
Oh, anyone
the
who's
way
digging
he
into the
keeps
dirt.
his
I should.
area
Oh,
so
okay.
I should
moist,
mention that.
yeah,
If you're not digging in the dirt, then it wouldn't make sense for you to do this.
I'll continue putting mud over myself. I'm not really digging.
Okay, if
Right.
you're clawing into the ground to get dirt to put on people, you're part of this. Who's part of that? It sounds like it was Beastie
Me.
and Jenny. Okay. Beastie. Oh wait, that's wrong there. Okay. Nothing happens. Nothing's noticed. You continue doing that until basically all of you are pretty much caked up in mud.
Well, to the pit, Astos. Slap him on the back.
Specks of mud go everywhere.
You
Yes.
slap him on the back and it goes, just it's all gross and wet.
Yeah.
It's actually, like, to anybody who doesn't mind being dirty, it's sort of refreshing, considering that the lands of Dark Sun are still very hot, and this fog makes the humidity sort of unbearable. So using this mud that's a little bit warm, it still feels somewhat cool on your body.
The bed.
Feels all right.
Go
Go ahead,
follow
and move as you,
Zerdos.
go ahead and move as you feel fit.
So we're going northeast. Yes.
Mhm.
You guys travel for some time through this fog, and you hear the sort of random chirps of insects and through these throaty croaks of unknown creatures, unless you roll a high enough nature check. And go ahead.
Oh, it's two.
Actually, going through here, I know the site's very limited, but on our way through here, if I could look for any plants that might seem unique or alchemical.
Okay. Give me a disadvantaged investigation, since you guys are. This isn't like some session where you're just going out on your own. You're kind of like just having to look back and forth and get the best. Beastie, those croaks remind you of a place far, far away. Frogs. Frogs can only thrive in a place with a decent amount of water. And it seems that Minar has provided that. Ostos, you keep an eye out, looking left and right as the party progresses. But to your dismay, nothing but mud and fog is in your view.
Okay.
And if I wanted to be truly faithful, it would have been super disadvantaged because of the fog. But with the disadvantage alone, it's already not great. You guys eventually progress out of the fog, with Zerdos leading the way with a fair bit of confidence. And finally, the fog breaks, and you see the tower out ahead, perhaps half-mile away in the distance, sitting upon a hill that's fairly green as well.
I
This
like
is
this.
this is where we're going to use Theater of the Mind for a little while.
So it's past that still, Zerdos?
Yeah. It sounds like we might want to skirt around the tower if it's occupied, but we can use that as a landmark to guide our way. We also need to just generally keep our eyes out for the fucking plants around here and the dead that roam around, but they're all pretty slow, so if we see those, we can run away from them.
It's not the plant's fault.
Isn't it?
Something
They're the
wrong with
ones attacking us.
As you continue to move, keeping an eye out for the dead, and I think it was called random fucking plants. Give me a perception check.
Lottie-dottie, everybody?
Sure. If you have nature skill, I'm going to give you advantage.
Okay.
Oh, I have the nature skill.
Okay. See, I've only got 3 perceptions. There we go. Zerdos is on fire today. Zerdos, you've been here a while, and your eyes are keen to the dangers of your, I guess, what is close to your homeland right now. And you see an array of vines. There's vines all over the place, so it's sort of hard to catch. You see an array of vines and just a flash of purple color as you walk about. And there are ways around this area, but this area is basically like almost a football field worth of these vines and purple flashes catched in the corner of your eye.
I'll just sort of signal everyone, point that direction, and say, "That's not a good spot." Well, there's vines and flowers in there.
You see, it's arranged. It's almost arranged like a semicircle strip around what you imagine you're approaching the crater, as if, well,
So as if the vines
that'd be
are like-
intuition.
Okay. Yeah.
But you're able to find. I'm just going to continue to use this roll. You're able to find a path to hack through that evades these plants. Good job.
Right. Careful, everyone.
You come closer to the crater, and it's been an hour or so that you've been traveling. And the sun is beginning to set. And I'm going to place you guys at the edge of this crater.
Oh, it's good to know that it puts map names up there too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, look at that.
So you arrive before this massive crater. And you're going to have to forgive me, but I don't have a map that does this justice, because this crater is large enough to house tens of thousands of dead. And so realistically, this map would be like 100 times larger. But we're just going to have to make do. As you approach, it becomes more and more apparent that
Sorry.
flocks of kestrel, sort of buzzard, featherless birds, or almost featherless birds, are flying about. Sometimes they drop down into this crater, which you cannot yet see the bottom of. Go ahead and travel.
Well, I'm gonna shake up my moss jar and get a little bit of light. Let's tread carefully and not fall, huh?
So make our way to the edge, I guess.
Is this green? Like, or is that
Yes,
just...
it is beautifully green.
Jenny's just passing by and like looking at all the plants as if this is a dream, and she's like touching the leaves and everything.
Beastie is just silently crying and petting each tree as she passes it.
I guess as we come through
everything
the,
looks so lively here.
I guess I would stop as we kind of come through what looks like the end of the foliage on the map and just have a look around and see if there's anything.
Give me an investigation.
It feels like home.
Zerdos, it's hard to pay attention to the general area when there's so much life about, when there's so much kestrel overhead, kind of making you, I don't know if it's the word nervous, but catching your eye. You don't really see anything of note that is beyond the obvious. You can't quite see into the crater yet. It's vast and wide and deep. It must be deep for you to not be able to see into it yet.
Passing these trees, do they look similar to the kind that we saw in the mansion? Kind of looking at them, do they look to be the same, I don't know, coloration or such?
Somewhat. They look like trees that don't belong in a desert. Much like the ones in the mansion that were well watered. These look like trees that require lots of water to survive. These are not trees that are fit to live in a desert.
Other
And Beastie, you notice this as well with your base nature and where you come from. These are like trees that require lots of water, lots of life to live, and there's so many of them. It seems like there's
they-
no competition for resources out here.
Are they similar to the ones where
They're
I'm
diff-
from?
They're different. The ones you're from are tall and kind of more hardy. These ones look more fragile. Like they could be easily destroyed with just a deprivation of life. The ones in where you're from can survive the cold, be buried by snow, but not these ones.
are these seed bearing? Anything nearby that I could,
Give me an. Do you have like an herbalism check or herbalism skill?
Proficient in nature. I'm not trained in herbalism, but I'm trained in alchemy.
I'll let you do nature. So this is not like a delicate plant. So give me a nature check. You're able to find the sort of seed of the plant, and you're able to find one that's healthy enough that if you sealed it well in your alchemy goods, since you have an alchemy kit, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can seal it in your alchemy kit so that it doesn't become desiccated when you travel with it.
I will do that.
Go ahead and put in Yaramuke tree seed.
Okay.
I'll just drag Lexi around.
All right, should we proceed?
Sure.
I would also like to try and get a seed, although I don't have anywhere to store it.
Yeah, you feel. Go ahead and roll me herbalism, which is looks like any wisdom that you're proficient in. Any wisdom based skill you're proficient in will do. And but yes, you feel like it'll die easily in a backpack. So, for example, you can roll nature.
Nature is int.
Yeah, actually, it should be. Skills should be int based, actually. So, I think that works. I know you prefer wisdom, but it's.
Yeah, I don't have anywhere to keep it.
I was just, looking around, grabbing it, and putting it in the.
Do you have an
already.
herbalism kit?
We have one on Francesca that we're sharing.
I will allow you to. Well, would you bring? Here's the thing. This requires me to ask. Would you bring Francesca here, or would you leave her somewhere else?
I think better bring her with us.
I think we would have brought her with us, and especially, like, if nothing else, left her near Maynard's, but probably brought her with us here because there's...
So okay, so she will be subject to all the dangers you're subject to, just so you know.
Cool.
Well, if we leave her somewhere, she's subject to roaming zombies, right?
That's up to you how you want to... I mean, yeah, if you left her randomly, I think you mentioned Maynard's, maybe that'd be safe.
Maybe, but he fucked off into being a worm before we could ask him, so...
Sure. If you left her near the trees, maybe she'd be safe. That's ultimately up to you. But let me know which one you choose, and that's going to dictate whether or not you can do this.
I don't have a strong opinion, but I think if we brought her with us up to now, then in these trees would be a good place to tie her up.
Tie her off?
Yep,
That's
that's
what I
good
was
too.
thinking.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You tie her off onto one of the trees. One person will be down a rope, or probably she has a rope on her with the weight it does. Go ahead and mark it in some way, just to show me. And we'll get the token for her later.
Calrona,
busy.
you have to click on the pencil, and then you have to click on the squiggly mark above the A to make
No,
an
I'm
X or
trying to
something.
just ping. But...
Oh, never mind.
Just, I think you have to have the little basic controls selected, probably the one with the
I
head and
did.
shoulders.
Look, it's a bird. That's
I do have
adorable.
it selected.
Helios.
I saw you ping.
Did you? I didn't see myself ping.
That's interesting. You pinged again.
Yep, I can't see myself pinging.
Okay.
What
Interesting.
what browser are you using?
Chrome.
All right, you have
And I could see myself ping on the Maynard's map, but I can't on this one. I don't care.
All right. Well, yeah, it's not a big deal. We're moving on. So you tie up the bird, and you receive. Well, give me a. Did you give me a nature yet? I don't think you did. Give me a nature, please. You're able to collect a very healthy-looking seed.
Yay.
I'll actually say you grab a hand. I don't know, like is it like an acorn? Maybe. You grab a. Yeah, is it a conifer? Is it an evergreen? I don't care that much about the goddamn
it's a
trees.
D's, I think.
Yeah, what are these? So
Thanks,
you grab a
guys. Now I have to
handful.
edit that out of the fucking video.
Well, you're fine. So you grab a healthy handful of it. You can actually you can say healthy handful. You crit, basically. You rolled a 22. Okay. Whenever you like crit or something, I probably will tell you just for the hell of it, so you can get that rush. So you tie her off. You obtain your things, and you look at the crater that's before you. What do you do?
I'm gonna see if there's any tracks of anybody that's been around recently. Maybe.
Please do a survival for me.
I'll kind of follow her along and give her light too, since it's dark out.
Okay.
Because I have the
I can't
moss.
roll. I'm trying to roll. It's not letting me.
A good point. Since it's starting to become dusk, I'm going to transition us into night.
Oh, that's cool.
It's still going.
Oh, that's so cool.
Now, you look about, and because of the light that is extended to you, you don't get disadvantage on this. You see what looks like very old remnants. They look like very, very old tracks. And for the most part, they've been buried. And you find one that's perhaps closer to the crater that looks like a hand clawing. Like just like a hand was dragging on the ground towards the crater.
Lovely. Well, it doesn't look
Helio,
like...
are you providing light?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to make you emit light. How are you providing light? Is it a cantrip?
Yeah, cantrip light on my moss jar.
Is it 2040?
I think it's 30. Take a look at it. I think it's 30 feet, either 30 or 60.
Let me know exactly what it is, and I'll paint it.
Should have rolled to you.
It's a 20. Okay, it's 2040.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
a torch.
20, no.
Okay, so here is your 2040 light that you're providing.
Dang.
Some bright ass moss.
I'm just
Yep.
going to tell the party that it doesn't look like anybody's been here recently. Although I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm going to cautiously approach the edge
Okay.
and try and look down into the crater. I don't know how close I have to be near the edge, but I'm the lightest of us, so I'm gonna like kind of cautiously approach, like feeling it out.
And Beastie, you don't have dark vision, so when you go to the edge of Ostos' light, it's hard to see. Like almost, it becomes difficult to see.
Oh,
So
right.
if you come to the edge of that light, you start kind of losing your ability to function. Not completely, because it's not the dead of night yet,
Yeah, I'm okay.
but it's quite dim.
Do you want us to go with you, BC?
Well, I wanna.
Go ahead and give me
I
a.
can still
as-
kind of see, right?
Yeah, it's basically disadvantage. So as you look off onto the crater, give me a disadvantaged perception.
Does it should automatically be rolling twice, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great.
So you look off, Beastie, and what you see is the greatest mass grave you have ever witnessed. There are, and I don't do this very. See that I get to see it now.
Um,
They, I don't depict this very well, but like the density of corpses, you don't see the ground. All you see on the ground is corpses.
okay.
Some are skeletal, and some are like desiccated, mummified looking things.
I'm
All are dead.
gonna wild shape
Okay.
into my lesser tembo.
And I don't have the tokens yet. Like
That's fine.
I'm kind of behind,
That's fine.
but you're.
Um, Okay, so do I have dark vision as a lesser tembo?
That's a great question. I think you do. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the appropriate 3060 vision.
Heck yeah. Okay.
Or actually, it's not 3060. It's just you're going to get
60 feet of dim vision.
of
or
dim.
something?
Okay. So that doesn't really show right now.
I think
but
I could use that on my token as well.
you all have dim vision. I have not given you bright vision. So you should be
Okay.
able to see the map. It's just dim.
Okay. All right.
So keep in mind, dark vision does not mean that like you see things as if it's in daylight. It just means that you
Yeah.
can like make out stuff.
Okay. But
So it
as a
didn't affect the
tembo,
token. I did make the change on the token, but it didn't affect your like
my
because
sight.
it's not pitch black here. It's just dim.
Yeah. I have a climb speed, so I'm gonna
Nice.
Yes, as you
speed
look
down
off,
over the edge.
you see that there's a bit of a slope, but the slope is very steep. It's almost sheer, and it goes down like 20 feet.
Okay.
And you make out this tiny patch of land that in the crater that happens to not have a corpse on it, and it's beautifully green. So that's not depicted well on the map, but the crater itself, and you see on the edges now that on the edges it's coated in like algae or green.
Okay.
Algae's not the right word.
Moth?
Like a moss.
Moss. Thank you.
While Beastie's scouting around down there, I was going to move up to this tree and and use it to tie off a rope to
Okay.
hang over the edge. It looks like from measuring, it looks like it's about 30 feet to the crater, so another 20 feet hanging down.
Yeah.
So I'll just start working on that while she's scouting.
It's so keep in mind these tiles are 10 feet, so
Oh, okay.
it'll basically reach the crater and that's it. So
Okay.
that line there is 40 something feet and it won't be able to come down into the crater. And you also need about 5 or 10 feet to wrap around the tree for a good knot.
Well, I'll look for something closer, like a large rock or something to tie off against.
Okay.
If that exists.
You're looking for what?
Like a it kind of looks like there's like a bouldery thing right on the edge here. Something that we can tie a rope off.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand because that's a little like the tree's very easily, but this one's like there's a possibility that the rope, if not tied well, could slip off the stone or the boulder.
If I notice that he's...
Zerdos, you being a master of this this sort of business before of binds and that sort of thing, you tie a beautiful knot around the rope. And at this point, I'll go ahead and just there. Is that visible?
Yep.
Okay. We need like
I'm
a
gonna just-
tool that is not permanent. Oh well, figure that out later.
I'm gonna just start climbing down.
And despite the climb speed that you have, the moss is slick. And
Okay.
you just slide down fast, like without control. and now you're at the bottom.
Okay.
And you just sort of slump down into, like, you hear like a crack of an old brittle bone as you fall into it.
How far down in here do you want me? Like, here?
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Okay. I'm going to yowl up at them and happily wag my tail.
Beautiful.
Astos, what are you looking for specifically in there?
There's this type of like death boss fungus that is somewhere in there, but I probably wouldn't recognize it unless I saw it. Maybe Beastie knows. She kind of had right in there pretty quickly.
Yeah, do I see any of those yet?
You don't see any yet.
Okay.
That would take, and you feel like you're probably you gotta have a search on hand because this is a massive crater. Zerdos, or one of you remembers, maybe an Astos or it might have been BC, remembers what Minar said about the precise location of this thing. Do you remember?
Offhand, no.
Asto
there's, like-
said it was a grave mushroom.
Yep. And what else?
So there's like a cluster of them on the body of a child, I think.
That's right.
Well, we better get down there before Beastie hurts herself.
Should definitely try to avoid stepping underneath the bodies, but is the rope down and like secured and everything, or at least it looks like it is?
Yeah, it looks really solid.
Yeah, the rope comes down.
Can I make... Hold on, now I have to pull up my tembo again. Can I make a... Like, I'm gonna try and sniff out if there are any zombie corpses around instead of just normal corpses. Do the zombies have a smell that, like, normal corpses don't?
You might be checking for a flower on the back.
Oh,
So I'll
okay.
give you actually a nature check for that one.
Okay.
I'd like to start heading down too.
I'll go after Astos.
Offhand, you don't see, at least right away, any flowers,
Okay.
which is comforting to an extent.
I feel pretty confident in my knot, but I'll still go last and have a hand on the rope just in case something goes bad.
Okay. And you do so.
I see everyone else is down. I'll climb down after them.
Well,
Not
that
just
was
silently stairs
unpleasant.
behind you.
That was unpleasant. Because I'm assuming we all slide down that moss stuff.
Yeah, but basically, if you've got a hold of the rope, you're able to control the descent.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you were dropping off, with the intent to climb, you realize just how slick the moss is. It's like nearly impossible to climb down this thing, and then you just slide down the thing. And unfortunately, it's your fall is cushioned by a large array of bodies.
So Zerdos is wearing, like those like gladiator style sandals where it's just like a flat little piece of leather with the lace kind of wrapping around his legs, and so he's kind of a little grossed out by the fact that he's basically squishing his toes in dead bodies. But
It's not the best
You do.
feeling.
I hate when they get between my toes.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Okay, so I guess with being down, Nadia staying up top, or she's silently with us.
Nadia will come with you. I almost want to just give her control to somebody else
Mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to actually build a soundtrack right now while you guys are doing stuff.
You said my tembo is like a hairless large cat, kind of, right?
Pretty much.
So
That's what it
I
resembles.
I feel like I look like a hairless kitten since I'm so small.
Yeah, you look like one of those. You look like a dire Egyptian cat.
Excellent. I'm just...
You know the one I'm talking about.
Yes.
Or just like a really chubby orange cat. or something.
something around there.
Yeah.
A hairless kitten
Uh,
yowling at you and swooping my tail.
so I don't know what we're looking for. I'm just gonna. I'll be ready for trouble. So I'm gonna get my shield out, my weapon ready, and just expecting that something bad's gonna happen. I'll let you all look for what you're looking for.
Well, children's bodies. That's what we're mainly looking for first. Kind of dark, but they should be growing on that if that Minar was to be trusted, which she seemed to be.
I have a passive perception of 13, or not 13, 15 as a tempo.
Okay.
Yeah, 15. So, if you were looking, I don't know if this does the thing like Roll20 does, where you have the little things that pop up to our.
This will be, in fact, investigation, because you're not just, like catching something from the corner of the eye. You're really digging in. And I kind of like play up investigation more than what the raw does. So
I'm
passive
just-
investigation is the same. It's
There you go.
also 15.
awesome.
Aha!
That's what I like to hear.
If it helps, I'm just keeping watch in case any bodies start moving.
So start moving
too.
around, and I will keep in mind your passives.
Yep.
So I'm gonna start sniffing around as much as I'm looking as well, kind of trying to sniff
Truffle
out.
hunting.
Yeah, truffle hunting, sniff, sniff. But also, I'm going to head towards that oddly green area in the center as I'm moving around.
Before everyone goes away, starts moving, I'm
Mhm.
going to give them each a bit of moss, and I'm going to cast light on it, so each person will have a bit of moss with light on it.
Is light a cantrip?
It is a cantrip.
Does it
It's not
require
concentration. Nope.
Okay.
It lasts an hour.
Let me get a good hard look at that, because that's interesting that you can basically just cast as many lights as you want.
Yeah, I think it actually says in the wording of it, it lasts until you cast it again. So you can
If you cast
Oh
it
yeah,
again-
yeah, I cast it again.
Yeah,
Never mind.
so one light.
I'm the light.
That's how they did that. They didn't want to make it a concentration, but they also didn't want you to have as much as you want.
Hey, do you
Okay,
have
yeah, you just
dancing
got the one.
lights? Helios?
Right in Dark Sun.
Yeah, right. Just, never mind.
Woo! Look at me.
I'm just keeping like a circular thing, so that way I'm staying in the light, kind of. So I'm trying to stay in the
I
light.
see. So, yeah, I'll if I see Jenny's kind of scouting one side, I'll try and be like
Yeah.
basically so that we are covering the edges of where everyone's investigating.
I guess I'll move pretty slow, so everyone gets time to look around and just kind of like slowly make a perimeter around the entire thing. So I'll be moving pretty slowly,
Keep
going
moving.
counterclockwise.
You draw along, and you see just the full extent of death here. And Zerdos, can I get a... Did you do a check recently?
I haven't been rolling any checks, so
Can you
Okay,
give
do it.
me an investigation? Okay, moving on. You don't catch anything.
that's about right.
As you continue to search along, Heatherly, go ahead and stop right there.
Oh no.
Oh, and someone's grabbing the dog for me.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
There was a dog and we didn't see it?
Yeah,
Oh,
well, she's sleeping, and now that she's not, that's when she's getting taken away.
Okay. No
Because I
worries.
really can't handle a puppy and do this. Thank you. Okay, so Heatherly.
Yes.
I'm pausing because I'm stopping the movement,
Okay.
and I'm gonna pull. I'm just gonna pull Lexi like right in the middle of y'all.
Mhm.
You catch in the corner of your eye a little bit of this color, this greenish color that is not just the bottom of the crater. In fact, it's growing on a small corpse that is been so weathered by time that it's unrecognizable. and out of a chest that's seemingly have just popped open is this array of toadstools.
Astos. And I point to it. I found it.
I'll go over there and look at it.
Sure enough, this matches the description of what you were told by Zaviel, your father.
Beastie, could you help extract these? Would it make more sense for her to pick them up the herbalism kit because she's trained in it?
Yep,
Uh,
herbalism is the premier way to pick herbs when you feel that they might be delicate.
Okay. In that sense, like, is it a wisdom for her, or is it still also intelligence check with the...
I feel like herbalism can be part of wisdom. Just because it's attached automatically to a druid, it makes sense to me, and also about nature and that sort of thing. And though nature is an intelligence skill, it's about knowledge, whereas herbalism is sort of like intuitively feeling around and understanding the plant and pulling it out, instead of being book smart. Although being book smart, I think, works well too. So
Yeah. If
I think for you can do intelligence, and for her, she can do wisdom. You have different ways of doing things.
Yeah. If she's going to do it, then I will assist her in trying to pull these out.
Okay. Beastie, as you come up to the thing, and you see that there's a number of these toadstools growing out of this, what is probably a child's body. You can roll me, if you're proficient in survival, you can roll me a survival. That would be the same number.
I'm not proficient in it.
Then give me
I'm
a
proficient in medicine.
medicine. Go ahead and roll medicine.
I can word.
Alternatively, you could just roll something that's int and then convert what the bonuses would be. You got a natural 20. As you,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that because it's fun, but I gotta stop doing that. But as you look at it, you see Beastie become this sort of. You're still in beast mode, right? That's
Yeah.
interesting. You kind of crawl up to it, and with this delicate, I would say that you have to kind of mouth it off. You just sort of pluck it, so daintily, off of the child's corpse. And as you do that, you feel the ground rumble a bit. And it rumbles and then it shakes underneath you. And then suddenly, the child's corpse rises under a mound. I'm still learning how to do this. Rises under a mound of this massive toadstool. We're going to put it here.
A mushy boy.
That heaves upwards. The little mushroom was growing off of one great big sort of head of it. And it sort of gives this strange twisting motion towards Kelrona. Please click your tokens and roll initiative. Oh, hold on. Before you do that, I have to activate encounter. Yeah, there we go. Now go ahead and do it. This is all new to me, so I'm probably going to go a little bit slower than normally.
How are we gonna know who's going first if it's?
It's
Never
going
mind.
to be beautifully obvious.
Also by the, yeah, it's also in the combat tracker thingy too.
Not only you won't even need it. You're going to see how great this is.
Okay.
So it looks like everybody but Lexi. I'm going to roll for Lexi. I really don't like having to do this. I think from future going, we're going to have somebody control Lexi.
I was gonna say just have it where she's watching after Francesca or something, but
Yeah, but this encounter is balanced around 5 people.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to do that to you. So I'm going to go ahead and roll her initiative. She's top. I'm going to assume that she's probably got a higher dex than Jenny. So she's actually the one who goes first. I'm going to have her come over and try to give it a stab. Let's see how this goes. Yep, and she's going to hit. Now I need to figure out how to best apply this damage. This is a learning experience for me, so. Did I apply that damage? Yes, I did. Excellent. So I can right-click the total damage and say apply damage, and that actually tracks it on the creature. Okay,
So-
that's your turn.
I just wanted to comment, because you said we would never see like hit points, but the whole injured versus uninjured, and I mousing over that awakened corpse room, it still shows as uninjured to me.
It means the damage she did was not enough for it to even look like it's been injured.
Oh, okay.
There's a threshold for uninjured. So this means that
just
you
in
need to
terms
do a
of
lot
like specifically like Toll the Dead type of spell, it's like if the creature's taken any damage, it takes, so knowing that or not that. But
Yeah, so if you've done such a poor job of hurting it, then it still looks uninjured.
okay, cool. Not
Yeah.
cool.
So I think of it as a way like HP is not always HP is not. Yeah, it's something like that. HP is not always a measurement of like how many wounds you have. Sometimes it's about your luck. I mean, if you watch a movie, it's usually like dodging until somebody does a killing blow.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
You need to do a certain threshold of damage, percentage of damage, before something is even injured. And I'm actually okay with that.
Cool.
Okay, so that was Nadia's turn. Jenny, you probably saw something big that said you're next up. Do you see that?
No, I didn't, because I was looking at my sheet. Sorry. But that's...
So basically you can click it and it goes away, and
oh,
then a
that's
big
cool.
thing is going to say you're up.
Okay. Random question. Did we long rest or anything?
Nope.
Nope. Cool. Good to know.
You're using the power of Minar.
Cool. I'm gonna yell at Beastie and say, Beastie, why do you have to touch everything? And then I'm gonna stab it with my spear.
Okay, great. I'm going to. This thing's not quite.
Just gonna give a confused yowl and like look at Astos. Huh?
I don't know.
That's more proper for the size. Okay. As you swing towards it, Heatherly, it gets caught up in the sort of like earth and vines that cover it, and you're only able to pull the spear out, not being able to strike it into the creature. Okay, I'm still messing with the tools. It's going to be a little slow at first. Still figuring my shit out. Here we go. I'm going to use the tracker over here. Okay. Beastie?
Okay. So I know that I can't speak words in wild form. Can I still communicate in Druidic?
That's a hard one to say because that sets a tone for... It's a sort of spiritual language.
Kind of, sort of, but it also is sort of like there's verbal and it has an alphabet.
Yeah,
So-
maybe, but it might be tough to express that non-verbally in combat.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think in combat,
That's
I think
why-
it's not possible.
Okay.
Out of combat, as a creature, I think you could.
In that case, I am going to 20 feet straight forward. Damn. Okay. I am going to, I guess, try and bite it. I don't want to bite this thing. That doesn't sound good. I'm gonna claw at it.
Okay. You try to rake a claw across it, but it just catches onto the hanging child's body.
Oh, no.
And you just rake off some of the pieces of it. Do I even have to say who's next? It should be super obvious to people nowadays.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah,
Pretty
so I'll just
awesome.
click the button and expect you to know what's going on. Because your screen will be like flashing.
Yeah, we'll know if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, so the
It
person
makes a
whose
loud
turn it is,
bang noise,
even the
too.
person who's next up gets a big flashing image. So
I
like
didn't see
Zerdos.
You see Zerdos starts doing the like dancing back and forth like Final Fantasy. He's about to go in and attack. Not quite yet, but he's
I'm
Rocking
trying to
back
move
and
this. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I am great with these
And if
tools.
nothing else, if your token is flashing that golden array, then you're good to go.
As I draw like 10 of these things on accident. How do you select the actual
The
objects
boom,
again?
the boom itself is like the thing
boom.
that. So you're using it literally looks like a boom, like, or well, I guess with the selector tool is what you select it with. I don't know which one you're using. Are you using the measurement controls? Yeah, so there's like a
There we
little
go.
explosion look on the measure. You just
There.
mouse over it, and you can literally click delete without even clicking it.
Still don't see the explosion you're talking about, but I got what I wanted.
Okay,
So
I'll show you that
grease-
later. It should be obvious. So you
grease
may not be
10
on the right tool.
10-foot square grease. So it should be exactly where he's standing. I ignore all my circles; they are not necessary. But
Yeah, I got rid of them.
Yep.
Okay, so that's where the oil's placed, and is that a dexterity saving throw?
Yes, it actually. You know what? Boy, yeah, that long rest thing definitely got me too. Yep, I got nothing. I just can't trip him.
Okay.
I don't think I have any spell slots
Oh,
right
so
now at all.
you don't. So no grease then.
Yeah, no grease, just acid splash.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. In that case, I'll take away the grease thing.
Mhm.
Oh, is there another little drawy bit? Okay, so the cantrip is a dexterity saving throw. I'll roll again because this is a different,
hmm
and it fails.
Okay, so did it roll the damage?
Yep, I will. And so as you chuck the acid onto it, it broils, and you hear this as the creature sort of shudders. It looks like that was particularly damaging to this creature.
Okay. So 2 damage. Okay.
Yes, that is what that means. You can't right click this one and say damage, so I'm gonna have to. I'm being really retarded here. I'm sorry. Oh, as you do that, Ostos, its body shudders, and you see this mass of spores come off of it. And Ostos, you're kind of in the middle in like, can you put yourself in a corner somewhere of those grid? You should be in one of the corners of those big squares.
Yeah, right there.
There you go.
Okay.
And, I'm not gonna fault you for putting yourself farther away, because that seems like what Ostos would do. Everybody who's within 5 feet of the beast needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. I get advantage on those because of the endurance thing.
Awesome. Let me know if anybody else has an advantage.
Yes. I believe.
Okay. Oh, and I need to do it for Lexi. God damn it. I hate rolling. I do not have the time to roll for other people. Okay, she failed. Everybody else succeeded. And she will
Poor
take.
Lexi.
You see her cough and hack, and her eyes sort of like glaze over. And I will be applying damage to her. Let's see if this works.
If I
Did
see she
not
go to
take there's endurance
It did
to
not
give
work
her
there.
advantage.
Even with advantage, she did not save.
if,
Oh, okay.
But thank you for
If-
telling me, because I didn't notice. Or
if
wasn't
because
fast enough.
she was taking it particularly bad, I would use my reaction to chromal shift.
It doesn't look like she's devastated by it. Does that make a difference?
She probably had some temp hit points as well.
So you can actually mouse over her and it says barely injured.
I mean, in the sense, like, I'm trying to say if I saw that she failed it, I wanted to see.
Oh, sure.
If they're-
Yeah, so that means I guess she'll get another saving throw.
Mhm.
Okay, I will roll her. She fails again. So you see her cough, and then like the spores kind of pull backwards away, and then they brush back out, and she looks at it with like deer in the headlight eyes, and sucks it in the same way she did before. For her, I'm just gonna maintain the damage. She is poisoned.
Yeah.
You can't change fate sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you've done some amazing shit,
Yeah.
but this time it
It
wasn't meant to be. Okay, that was your turn, Ostos, and then it just reacted. Zerdos.
Okay. I'm going to move up next to this thing.
Okay.
I
Does
don't
it
know
make
if
a difference if the spore cloud is still there?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. I'd like you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Do you have advantage right now? Endurance?
That's the enhanceability one.
Yeah. Do you have temporary hit points from them?
I do have temporary hit points, yeah.
Then as the spores wash over you, you feel this, like you start to hack, or you start to like feel this itch in the back of your throat and in your nostrils burning, and there's a sort of burst of energy that saves you in the moment, and you're able to proceed.
Okay.
It was 6 and a 23.
Nice.
Okay. Does this thing that burst up, does it look like it, like, is this basically a stationary giant mushroom that we're attacking, or is this like some
No, this is on
creature
like moving roots on the ground. The mycelium or whatever it's called.
Right. Well, I'm going to swing my warhammer at it.
Okay. And as you try to bludgeon the beast, you hit it square on its sort of bulbous head, and it like squishes into it in a way that doesn't seem like it really hurt it much. You're not sure if it's the weapon or just the impact.
Okay.
And that's it for you, unless you have something else.
Nope. That's all I will do.
Okay, it's going to turn over to let's say Zerdos, and try its best to lambast you with attacks.
Yeah.
And so it's going to do 2 slams. It's going to hit a 12 and a 20.
The 20 hits.
Okay. And so at first it rolls over, and sometimes I don't know your AC, so I just have to ask, but it sort of rolls over, and the first strike that smashes down, you sort of roll across from it, but the second one hits you square in the back as you're rolling away.
Can I... it missed me, so I would like to use my riposte ability to attack back.
So as you roll, you swipe its leg, and then the second arm comes down on you. Go ahead and do the swipe. And it lands, smashing into what, like, it doesn't really have a knee, but smashing into the mycelium roots and breaking some of them apart.
Did that roll damage or not? I can't tell.
It did roll damage,
okay.
And I'm applying it now.
I need to roll... Where's...
And that actually did change its state.
Okay, and I need to roll this as well. So that should have been a D8 as the superiority dice.
Got it. And I can't... That's too bad that I can't, like, right... Oh, I can't apply that as damage. Awesome. And so you smash into it once again. Oh, no, wait. This is the superiority dice. This is just added damage. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not being very smart today. I blame it on the sleep. And then the second hand comes down and smashes you for 14 damage.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that like your HPs are tied in. Oh, okay. It was because you had temporary hit points, right?
Well, but well, yeah, maybe. So I'm down a little bit of regular, but I don't know what the threshold would be. So
Yeah. So how many temporary hit points do you have?
I had 9.
Nice. Okay, that's why. Perfect. And so, like, as you get as the hand crashes down on you, it's as if it slams a wall of thick hide as it strikes you, and you hear this sort of like roar of a spiritual creature as you get hit, and it feels like, despite the weight of this creature's arm that came down on you, some kind of guardian was looking after you. Okay, that's its turn. Now it's Nadia's. She is hacking and coughing, but going to attempt to swing at this creature again. And basically isn't able to stick her blade in a good point.
Seeing our new friend Zerdos, I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna just jump back a few feet, and I'm going to oh, this is gonna hurt. I'm gonna take an opportunity attack, and I'm gonna move back probably 15 feet, so probably like there.
Okay, I'll go ahead and roll the opportunity attack now. And you dodge, sort of roll out of the way from the creature as it slams its hand down, but you're too fast for it.
And then I'm going to cast my Hunter's Mark, and
That would have done 17 damage.
Oh, well, guess what? I have 3 temporary hit points, so that would have kind of not helped.
So bonus action, Hunter's Mark, and then what?
And then I'm gonna shoot at it with my bow.
All right, and you fire off a shot, and it lands true on the creature, right into the sort of bulk of its body.
And then yep, and that's my turn.
Okay, hey, that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was cinematic. All right, Beastie.
Okay.
Ostos, did you get a next up message?
No.
Interesting that you're missing some things.
That is weird.
Unless the screen is not in the forefront. If you were checking something else in the forefront, that might have been it.
No, it's right in the page.
Okay. It is what it is.
It's pretty loud every time a turn changes. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, great. I don't hear that.
Um,
Hopefully, it's not annoying.
No, I think it's fine.
I'm gonna just try and claw at it again.
You sort of maneuver around the child's body that's in the way and rake it to effect.
Angry kitten!
Anything else?
No, that's really all I can do.
Okay, if you're really curious about the damage, I can let you know. So
I can do a.
there's actually like a watch this. I can reveal to everyone. Do you see it?
Oh,
So I don't
shit.
even need the screenshot. I can just reveal.
See what?
I crit my damage roll.
Yeah, you got
okay.
you got the top damage on the rake.
Boom.
So Ostos.
Okay.
Blah.
Yeah. It didn't make that sound for me.
Okay.
But is that cloud still there?
It has dissipated. It was a one round thing.
We're gonna try it again.
Sure.
So I'm gonna as a splash again. So let's see.
Okay. And I have to make a dexterity. This thing is so good at dexterities, you guys. It fails. And
Okay.
once again,
What
and yeah,
is
go
it
ahead.
reaction that it does the spores?
It's a legendary action.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Fuck
Okay.
you. You're like, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I love adding legendary actions to creatures that don't normally own them. That's kind of my thing, because it spices things up. And so once again, it melts part of the creature in a way that like you don't expect this is kind of like a low dose acid. It seems to burn the creature more than typical, and once again it shudders and pushes out some spores. And I'd like the nearby people to do another Constitution saving throw. Okay, Nadia
Did I send one?
saved.
Oh, I did send one. No. Okay.
Nadia saved this time, and then she saved when it became her turn again to not be poisoned anymore, and then she failed this, so she's re-poisoned. Okay, so
Sorry.
what do we got here? We've got Zerdos, you failed, even with the advantage. Beastie, you succeeded if you have advantage.
I do.
Okay, Zerdos, you are poisoned. You have disadvantage on attack rolls. And those of you who failed their saving throw take 10 poison damage. I should say, yeah, poison damage.
It's a lot.
Okay.
It's successfully recharged. This is a recharge ability. So it's not meant to fuck you over every round. It just happened to recharge. Oopsie daisy.
Yeah, Alsos probably don't know that though. So he's
took
probably
the
just
must
gonna
forget.
do nothing.
Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't share this shit.
That'll be
So
my
Nadia is looking injured. And Beastie, it looks like oh yeah, you didn't take the
Yeah, I
damage.
can see them.
Awesome, this is working. I love that we're tuned in. It looks like all our HPs are tuned in properly to the tokens. Okay. That was Ostos.
Mhm.
Zordos, you are poisoned.
Ugh. Well, I am going to swing my hammer at it. Disadvantage, I guess.
Strikes true. Slamming
Okay.
into the beast.
I am going to try something. I have no idea whether it works or not, but I am going to try and do.
You can
That.
attempt to frighten the target.
I don't know how easy it is to frighten a mushroom.
Yeah, I have no fucking. I have to look this thing up and.
But it will. If it works, that's cool. And I'm also going to roll the extra damage.
Hey, maybe
so
we can like trick the mushroom
saving
into
throw.
attacking all the Templars. You know, that would be great.
So, what is your DC?
13.
13. It's going to fail, and I think that means like it can't move towards you, and it
Disadvantage.
can't attack you.
It can't attack, but it's disadvantage.
Okay, so basically, yeah, it's frightened of you. It doesn't want to. It wants to choose it. It wants to choose a different target, and it will not approach you if you move away.
It's probably a jerk move, but
And I got the superiority damage applied.
okay. And then the last thing I'm going to do with my bonus action is use my second wind.
Gotcha. When you tank too much, this is a great ability. Go ahead and apply it. You can just, if you click that red die or whatever, that'll work. I don't know if you see that or not. Here, I revealed it, so you can go ahead and click that red die now.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, it is within line of sight. That's excellent. Until the end of your next turn. Awesome. So it's got disadvantage on any attack rolls. So that is quite nice.
Yeah.
I clicked the red die. I don't see it rolling anywhere though.
Okay. Go ahead and just do
I
a
could just-
slash roll d10. Or there's a die on the side. No, that doesn't do anything. Okay, I've applied that that damage. That's damage, right?
No,
Oh, no,
second wind
that's-
is self-healing.
Okay, go ahead and give yourself the healing.
Okay, and I don't see the number because I blind rolled it to you.
Oh, here. I've revealed it.
Okay,
I'll remember to reveal those.
I will remember to just not blind roll them, I guess. I'll
Sure.
just roll it.
Okay, now is its turn. I'm gonna say, Beastie, you gave it a good whipping, and you see the creature sort of as Zerdos, you strike it with your last blow that you did recently. You see it sort of recoil, its arms pulling back, and you see it turning away from you. And not that it has to go choose a different target, but recently it's been beaten up a little bit by Beastie. And so it will attempt to wail on Beastie and hit a 16 and a 17.
The 17.
Damn, that's a nice AC on that creature.
Oh, right. Hold on. Nope. I'm in my tempo. AC 12. They both hit.
Yeah. Okay.
You're right.
You take 10 damage and then 11 damage, and now you are grappled, and
Okay.
restrained,
Um,
and blinded, and unable to breathe.
Oh my god.
So as it slams down onto you, you see it pulling you in and just stuffs you into the mound of like it's got an underbelly of mushrooms and just stuffs you into its belly.
okay. So that knocks me out of beast shape, and it ate all of my temp HP, but I'm still unharmed. So
Good. I'm going to
Am
pull
I
you
inside
into
it?
the
Yeah. Okay.
So you are restrained and unable to breathe, and I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw right now.
Okay. I have advantage.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is at the start of its next turn, so
okay.
we'll have you roll again later. Sorry about that. Oh, and thank God that we didn't take that roll. Okay,
Oh no.
that's
is
that's
she
its
pulled
turn.
all the way inside the creature?
Yeah,
or
she's
is it just...
pulled into it. It's like you can barely even see her now.
So, question: if I'm inside of it,
Uh-huh.
if there is a spell that comes down on it, do I take that damage too, or just it because I'm inside it?
Because it's large, you can place it a little ways away from you. You don't have to place it in the square where you are.
Okay.
So you can place it like on the bottom right instead of the top right. Does that make sense?
Okay.
We'll put you on the top right here. But anything that happens in that top right would happen to you as well.
And we all saw that happening, right?
Yeah, you just see her getting slammed down.
Okay.
And as it pulls, you realize it's not even her Tembo form anymore. It's like her halfling form
Oh
being pulled in.
no. That's so sad.
And that's its turn. Nadia will, still coughing and hacking. She would have not liked this battle. Swings at the creature, and alas, is not able to break its mossy hide. Jenny.
Okay, so you can tell me if this is crazy and I can't do it, but I want, because this is...
Love it already.
So I want to run over to where Beastie was, and I want to reach in and grab Beastie and pull her out.
Sure, give me a grapple. It's going to be opposed to this mushroom.
Sure.
And use athletics.
It's always athletics.
Yeah, if you initiate, it's athletics.
Yeah.
Yet, the creature looking like it's ready to bash someone else, you get a moment and you crawl under the side and rip the halfling out of its grasp, and let's say over there.
No, you
Using
don't.
basically the remainder of your movement.
Are you okay,
So you
Beastie?
rip her out, and you can breathe again.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna bop her on the head.
Good deal.
That's my job. There you go.
Yep, that's your action.
Yep. And that's my turn.
Not crazy at all. That was a nice save for Beastie. Beastie, you are not restrained. You are not suffocating, and you are not going to be sucking in huge amounts of spores.
Jenny's just standing there,
Congrats.
like super proud, like a mama bear type thing.
You were going to take 2d8 plus 4.
Oh my goodness.
It's annoying me now, so I'm gonna cast a moonbeam on its head.
All right. What do I roll?
Is
Constitution?
Hold on. Yes. Moonbeam is Constitution.
Yep. I got a druid. I cast that before. It will save. Do I take half damage?
Yes, and I need to
Go ahead and roll
move
that damage.
my boom.
Awesome.
So,
Okay, I've got the damage. I'm going to apply
Yeah.
half since it saved. And so
Yeah.
this great beam flies down, and you kind of shining from the moon that's from Rawl, we'll say, one of the two moons of Othis, and it blasts down on the creature, and you see that the creature sort of saw it. I wouldn't say see it coming because it's Constitution. It sort of shudders a bit as it shines down on it, but it looks somewhat unhindered by the blast. Not
yeah,
saying it's doing
so
no damage.
it's ghostly flames of radiant damage.
Beautiful. That will not do extra damage because it's radiant, however.
No, that's fine, but it also will take that damage and make that throw when it starts its turn.
I think technically it won't do the damage
Until the start.
now and at the start of its turn. We're basically simulating the start of its turn right now. So it won't do the damage twice in one round.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make
When
sense?
a creature enters the spell's effect for the first time
It's
on
not
a
entering it?
turn,
It's not entering it, you're placing it onto it.
Yeah.
okay, or starts its turn there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But generally speaking, there's no spell in which it'll do the damage twice. Like across the board on all spells, it's sort of like a standard that you can't damage somebody with a spell more than once per turn, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So even if that were the case at the beginning of its turn, which well, anyways, moving on. Okay, is that all for Beastie?
Yes, because I can't cast
So this
spell.
great shining
Another
light
spell.
is now cast on this creature. Ostos.
So sorry about the spores. and I'm going to step back, and I'm going to not use acid again because every time I use it, he sprays out spores. I'm going to pull out one of the slings and shoot a sling.
All right, and you pull out a sling, and it just flies high. It's a high ball. You critically failed. Oh, you didn't critically fail. It was just a low roll.
It's really bad still.
The damage was a critical fail.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Got nothing.
Zerdos.
Ostos is not good with his slingshot.
Do I get a chance to try and shake off this poison effect, or is that?
Yes, in fact, that should have happened at the end of your last turn. So go ahead and roll that Constitution for last time. So you pull yourself. You manage to pull yourself together after a few hacks. You're able to overcome this poison, and you're not poisoned anymore. Also,
In
what
that
is that little
case-
icon? I didn't see that icon in there.
I clicked on the conditions in D&D Beyond and clicked
Oh, wow.
the poison condition, and then it's put the icon on there.
That's interesting.
That's cool.
There's petrified, paralyzed. So if you
Yeah,
if
those
you
are
try-
not the same icons. That's like I don't. If I do assign status effects here on Foundry, I don't have that. Anyways, let's move on.
Okay, sorry. So I'm gonna swing my hammer at him.
And it lands. Another solid blow striking against the creature's head.
Okay, and I'm going to expend another superiority dice and try and frighten him again. So
Okay.
that's the Wisdom save DC 13, and the extra damage is that.
It will succeed on the Wisdom save, but it still takes the damage, right?
Yeah.
All right, done. And
And
so you try to go for another like shaking blow, and the creature recoils for a moment and then pulls back in.
and I'm going to action surge
Okay.
and swing again.
Nice. You don't suffer a bitch. And another landing blow.
And I'm going to use my last superiority dice and try and frighten him again.
And that's a maximum damage superiority blow. And so as you see Zerdos just hammering onto this creature twice with like increased vigorous speed, the creature starts to stagger about. All right. It's now its turn. Oh, anything
Did it
else?
save the second? Second.
Oh, let me do another wisdom save. Yes, it did.
Okay.
Thanks
Stupid
for
wise mushrooms.
catching me on that. And it's going to turn to you, Zerdos, because you beat the crap out of it. And the first thing No, I can't do that. It needs, it only works on the legendary once it's replenished. Roll d6. Okay. And now it's going to try to wail on your Zerdos again. And it's going to hit a 21 and a critical strike. And so, as it comes down on you again, it slams you down. And as it does, for a moment, you're actually knelt down, and it takes a hand and slams you onto the back of the head.
And Chronal Shift.
Okay, Colonel shifting the second one, the slam on the head.
Yes.
Okay, and I will just use the other roll. It hits a 15 instead. Does that change
That
it?
doesn't.
Okay, and so as you see, it would have done 26 damage total. Would that have knocked you out?
I would have been down.
Wonderful. I get to do a narrative. So as it slams him down on the back, you see this massive hand that's just got all these little spores on it, just puffing out. You see a second hand slamming him in the back of the head, and you see his body collapse. Helio. Everybody else does not see this. Then suddenly the hand comes off the head, and for a moment you can see this big, you think you can see a part of his skull that's been exposed from split skin. And it pulls back, and the skin zips back up, and it comes and it slams a hand down on a Zerdos who's quick enough to pull his head away. Instead of taking 26 damage, Zerdos, you take 13. So I love that ability.
Just shake my hand like, okay, still got it. Okay.
I love the fact that after every battle, Astos has more and more
Right?
PTSD.
And we have no idea why. We're just like, it's fine. What do
We're
you
like,
No,
okay,
it's
man.
like-
Things just work out for us. We don't know why, but things just work out for us. We're a lucky group, and you're like,
fucking PTSD trauma.
The
Okay,
slow
something-
path of turning to a psychopath.
coming back to initiative.
Yeah.
And also, because that didn't happen, he didn't pull. Okay, this is even worse. What you saw is after he slammed him down unconscious, he pulled him in and ate him. And he probably would have died.
Oh no.
Yep.
Since he would have taken automatic crit damage.
Oh no.
And if he fails one saving throw, he would have been dead.
That would have been like 48. Oh my god,
Yeah.
no.
So
Gonna
that
add
would have
this,
been fucking rough.
gonna add
So
this,
yeah,
like,
you just see him being consumed by it as well. Then he pulls back out and does that stuff. Okay, great. Nadia will. Did she finally succeed on her con? Is she? No, she's still poisoned. Poor girl.
I'll tell you
And
about
she
what
still-
happened to her in my Thursday
She still
game.
strikes the creature nevertheless.
No, Nadia.
And so as that's happening, she plants her rapier into the back of the creature and twists it, and then pulls it back out. Okay, that was Nadia. Jenny.
I'm
Oh, as she twists it, some spores start to fly out again.
Oh no.
I need Constitution saving throws from all of y'all except for Astos.
You're enjoying this a little too much.
I know. It's actually the tool that I'm enjoying the most. But I do like creating weird ass variants of shambling mounds. Okay, Jenny saved. Beastie did not.
Even
Zerdos,
with advantage?
even with advantage. And
Okay.
Zerdos, you saved because of your advantage. And Jenny, or Nadia, for once in her life, saved. Okay, and the damage, yes, you are poisoned. That means you have disadvantage on attack rolls. most importantly, and you take 8 poison damage if you failed. If you didn't fail, you take none. I'm sorry, if you succeeded, you take none.
Okay. So I take 8 damage.
Yep. And you're poisoned.
Yep.
Okay,
It
now
should be-
Jenny.
Yeah, it's active.
I'm gonna look at it wherever it has eyes, and I'm just gonna open my mouth at it and cast fire breath
Awesome.
at it.
As you burn it, it starts to catch fire, and for the first time you hear this as it sort of takes a step back. It looks particularly damaging to the creature. And I still need to make a dex saving throw for it.
DC 13.
Okay, it does succeed, unfortunately, just barely.
That's fine.
But it still takes half damage, which then becomes full damage because of the particular power of this spell element. Okay, and now you can just mouse over it to see how badly it's injured. By the way,
Ooh.
so you can mouse over individuals to see their state.
Yeah, if only I had a second attack. Oh,
Okay,
well.
that sounds like you're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Beastie.
Okay. Okay, concentration. Sorry, I was looking at damage type.
Sure. Just so everybody knows, I'm not saying this is about Kelrona, but you'll see there's actually a little timer there. It tells me if you're taking too long.
Yeah, I noticed that a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes
And
a
that
sound if
doesn't
there's
mean the
DM.
whole that doesn't mean your whole round has to be resolved. It just means like if you haven't made a decision by then, I'm skipping.
Yeah.
Moonbeam?
Yep.
Yeah.
Moonbeam
No, it-
Moonbeam
yeah.
is going to be at the start of its next turn.
Not bad.
Um,
No problem.
so I am going to hold my oh, yeah. So Moonbeam's still active, and I'm just going to rake at him as if I was still a tiny hairless kitten, and
Awesome.
use primal savagery.
It's like you don't even know you've changed. That's what I like to think it is. You're just like row, and then you're doing the attack. And unfortunately, your little hands just don't break through its beefy mushroom hide.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, I'm
Astos.
holding.
Seeing Nadia stab it and soul spores are coming out, and
You become
being
emboldened.
absolutely- being horrible with the sling, I'm just gonna pull out another vial and just throw it.
Awesome.
So spells.
Okay, I have to make it saving throw. And it does succeed on this one. What does that
Nothing.
mean? No damage?
No damage.
That's such a bummer. And so the vial breaks over its head, but in a way that the acid actually flies out the other side of the creature.
Just
Or
try
just
to
say
mimic.
behind the creature. Yeah.
Just try to mimic using the sling.
It barely dodged out of the way.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy. But
That's
don't
it.
ever anybody ever say he didn't contribute. Zerdos.
Knowing how hard this thing has hit me, I'm going to disengage and
Okay.
take a couple of steps back. And
Disengage is an action for you, right? I don't think you have any ability to disengage in any
No.
other way. Okay, so it's an
Yeah.
action.
so I'm gonna disengage and step back. And if I want to drink a healing potion,
It's a bonus
that
action, so you can
it's a
still do that.
bonus action.
Yep.
I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to wait and see if it survives another round of combat.
So Zerdos, as you swiftly
gonna-
dodge away, you just see it's sort of like its hands going forward, but you're just simply too fast as you disengage. All right.
That'll
And
be it for
now
me.
it's turn. And Jenny, you see it turning towards you, and you see the two hands coming
Sorry,
back up.
Jenny.
Come at me,
If
bro.
you mouse over Zerdos, there's a good reason.
Yeah, no, I saw. I'm good.
Turn.
Oh yeah, let's do the
My
moonbeam.
turn, so
Oh.
Yep, let's do the moonbeam damage. Can you roll me the moonbeam damage real quick, please? Thank you for reminding me. And do I have to save again? I assume I do.
yes.
Con
Yeah.
save. It will succeed, but you
So
did
it's half damage.
you did big girl damage. 16 was the roll,
Yeah.
so it'll take 8 of that damage because it did succeed, but that's still pretty beefy.
Wow. So this
And you can see its state has changed. The thing is shuddering. There's spores kind of like coming off it in different directions. Its legs or mycelium is sort of like sprawling lower to the ground. Its shape is sort of hunching. And it's going to go after you, Jenny. And it's going to hit a... basically, it's going to come down on you once and you duck and roll under one. And then it goes with a swiping attack and it smacks into you for 9 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
Could have been a lot worse.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Could have been so worse. All right. And that is it for its turn. Nadia will go in on it with a attack and does not hit, unfortunately. Makes my job easy. Jenny?
Mm-hmm.
You get to answer back.
To what? Sorry, I was doing my HP. I feel terrible.
It's your turn.
I'm just going to, I guess I'll just keep attacking it with my spear and
Sure.
um
You hit it solidly in its center mass.
and then there's the hunter's mark, and I'm gonna say, is this thing gonna die yet? To Astos. And that's my turn.
I like how we expect him to know what everything is.
Yeah.
By the dictionary, yes.
How would you like to do this?
Really? This is so
yeah,
cool.
look at mouse over it.
Oh, this is so awesome.
Nice.
I just want to stab it like right where like its mouth is, and this is gonna sound terrible. I just basically want it where like my spear is, making the mushroom lean on it. Like,
So it doesn't have a mouth, but it has the core which it was pulling people into, and so you slam into it. You sort of go low and slam the spear upwards, and as it sort of lunged at you earlier, imagine like you sort of rolled, it swiped, and then you slam into with the spear and you hook it into the ground, and the thing starts to lurch forward and then just sinks into the spear.
ta-da! It's like art. If I knew what art was. Anyways, it's
Beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank God for that.
You have destroyed
Gods for that.
a legendary spore shambling mound.
Oh, thank God none of us died, right, Astos?
Yeah, that was pretty close. How you feeling, Zerdos?
As you look around, you see
gonna-
Zerdos is quite hurt, and Nadia is not looking well either.
I'm
Would
gonna
you-
go over to Zerdos and cast Cure Wounds, which I rolled privately, like a dark.
Oh, I was
Oh,
gonna say.
7.
You know how much it's
Here,
healing?
I'll just reveal it.
I was gonna say before you did that. I was gonna say if you want, I have a healing potion that he can use. That way you can save a.
That's fine.
Okay.
I've revealed it.
Oh, I see it there. Okay.
Um,
Thank you.
Yeah,
How
people
long
do
do you
heals. They can do public, or they just say, "Hey, can you reveal, please?" and I'll reveal.
Is this thing normally always here? Like, is it natural to this cavern? Do you
Do a
think?
nature.
Oh, that'll be lovely.
Everyone that can? Or
Anybody who's trained in nature.
Oh, I'm not trained in nature, so never mind.
Oh, sorry. Then.
I was asking the
This
question.
this is a little different. You know, this isn't your average shit. So
Yeah, no worries.
I apologize, but I need to take a 30-second bio break. Or
yeah, actually, can we
have
come
to
back
take
at
a
3:20?
5-minute cleanup break.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do 5. Let's do 5
thanks.
minutes.
Sorry about
I'm gonna
that.
stick around.
Okay.
I guess I'm properly dehydrated, so I don't have to pee.
Good to know.
of just death and rancor. And here is this beast of mushrooms, a bit sizzled, a bit stabbed up. But Calrona has already procured a perfect sample, which is all that your father needed. Astos.
Can I? Well, we did a nature check, or is that retconned of like why this creature might be? Because I was assuming Jenny was talking out loud of why this creature was here in particular.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it just kind of it got up, and that I think was the interruption. So, I think we ran nature checks earlier. Let me look up.
Ignore mine. Unless it's like a natural 20, then, you know, definitely don't ignore it. I wish.
I should have resolved that earlier. I'm having a hard time finding them now. Oh, here we go. I think there's. I'll just take these 2 nature checks. From Astos, were you
Yeah, I rolled.
learned in nature?
Yeah,
I did one 9 minutes ago.
Yeah. So 9 minutes ago? Was it really the
Right.
same 9 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. So it's right here. Okay, I'm dumb. My bad. So beastie.
Mhm.
This is although this is a creature that looks like it is one with nature because of its can I emote?
Sorry. Sorry.
Did you try a /EM?
I did it. Well, /me.
Oh, try /EM.
Well, I think it did. It did. Probably the same.
Are you sure? I mean, I don't know if I don't know about emotes in this game.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry. I didn't
So
distract.
it's okay.
Sorry, I was playing with
I
my
thought it
rolls.
was funny, and it's about a mechanic that we're still learning this tool. So, beastie, although this creature is sort of one, looks like it's one with because of the nature of this beast, right? Looking deeper at it, how it's sort of integrated with a corpse, and many mushrooms are. The way it's configured, a plant can be psionic. This is true. This is the way things have always been. But this creature is something a little bit different. This is a very willful creature. And you think that it's probably brought on by whatever nastiness happens down here. It's unnatural. That unnaturalness probably makes it very rare.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate all of you for doing that. BC,
All right.
I definitely wasn't expecting that. I apologize.
Did you get enough of those mushrooms?
Yeah, can I poke around on the corpse and see if I can get more mushrooms?
Yeah, I'm going to look for
It's
those.
been a bit fucked up, so re-roll,
Yeah.
but now with disadvantage.
It's
I'm also going to be
And
looking at that.
as this happens, the lighting shifts even further, and now it becomes very dark.
okay.
Did everybody get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Difference in lighting? Okay.
So if I'm rolling with the herbalism kit, or what am I rolling with?
Herbalism, wisdom was, I think, what we did, which
Wisdom,
means that you can
okay.
roll with medicine, and that would
Yeah.
simulate it.
I'm also going to look to see if there's anything different on there or just more of those.
Man, you're on fire today, Beastie. Both rolls were 20 and above.
Yeah.
And so you crawl all over the body trying to find something that wasn't singed by dray fire or acid or ruptured by mace or rapier, and you manage to find a fist-sized toadstool that has been completely untouched. It's perfect.
I'm gonna pluck it, and hold it up, and Look, I found another one.
And she really had to practically crawl inside this thing to obtain it.
Again. Oh, okay. And I'll prepare more containers for that.
And I want you to add fist-sized Camelot mushroom or death shroom.
There we go.
Well,
Camelot, huh?
Oh, sorry,
while everyone
Camelot's
is,
another location. Yaramake.
while everyone's investigating the body, Zerdos is just kind of checking himself over, looking at all the massive bruises, and some of them have like broken the skin. He's rubbing a little bit of the like dried mud on some of those, and he
Rub some dirt in it.
he kind of reaches up because he feels like maybe I don't know if like what he expects that maybe there's like a bruise on his head, but then he touches it and it's not. That's a little weird. But the battle was pretty hectic, so he doesn't really. I don't know. It's just maybe I just took a couple too many shots. I don't know.
Everybody but Ostos took a little bit of a smack from that.
Yeah.
But especially Zerdos and Nadia.
Yeah.
Were smacked around by that. Well, and actually, I would say Beastie took a mighty strike. It's just that because of her wild shape, she was able to endure it properly. So, yeah, some good tanking all around.
I'm gonna healing word both of them, and my healing words are just gonna be, "Are you okay?"
Are you okay? Poke, poke, and then suddenly you start to feel better. It's very strange.
Oh.
That one's to Zerdos, and then this one's to Nadia, if it'll set the second one.
Sure.
Why
Just
did
try
you
clicking
eat
it.
2 spell slots to cast that?
Well, it's pretty dark. Should we camp near the base of the crater?
I think we should get out of the crater.
Nadia looks a little bit better, but she's still pretty injured.
You should definitely try to get closer to the tower, or if Zerdos, if you know where they kind of gathered up before the gift, if we can avoid those places.
I feel like we're going to need our rope to climb out of here, so we should head back there.
Who all is still poisoned? Just me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did that dissipate?
But after a minute, your lungs feel a little bit more at ease.
Oh, okay.
Good point of bringing that up.
I wasn't sure if that was still.
I forgot to ask. All these bodies, they're like really old, right?
Yeah,
Like-
all of them are quite old and in different stages of.
Like we
What's
don't.
strange is like there are some like the deeper down there are more deeper stages of decay. So at the bottom there's like brittle skeletons, and at the top there's like desiccated corpses.
Okay, but we don't like recognize any of the bodies, right?
It would be very hard to.
Okay, I'm really worried we're gonna find like the maid and the chef.
You can
From the
attempt to look
Gregorian
over.
Mansion.
You can attempt to look over them.
Alec, how'd
Well,
you
the
get?
new
Yeah.
hasn't come yet.
Yeah, so this would be you'd be trying to find somebody of a time past. Is
Oh,
what
okay.
you'd be doing. If you have somebody that you think that you think could have been gifted, then you can search now for them if you'd like. It would take some time.
How long has it been since? Is this the first gift since I left?
You've heard before that it's like an annual thing.
Yeah, is this the first one to happen since I left the other place?
I don't know your character's timeline very well. I think that's kind of up to you. I don't know what you mean by I left the place. Like, you're talking about the other city?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that timeline's up to you. I think you can tell me what you feel is the right timeline for that.
Okay, so yeah, I think I would have. I don't think it's been that long. I was fairly new to ROM.
So this is maybe your first exposure to the gift then.
I mean, I would have heard about it from.
I mean like in your face exposure to the gift.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So it's up to you guys if you want to search for corpses of past individuals or not.
Can't imagine searching this
How-
massive crater. There's just so many.
Yeah, it would take a long time. Take you
Yeah.
at least an hour.
We have to get out of here.
Jenny just
how
like
far away
looks.
Are we?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say Jenny looks like she wants to search, and then just changes her mind and starts heading towards the crater. That's all.
Realizing the futility of it all,
Yeah.
Jenny starts to walk away. The answer to the question about how far away the tower is, which sounds like somebody was about to try to ask that, is
I was
that
gonna ask
it is
how far
close
away
enough.
the green spot was.
Oh, like, are you talking about the map itself, or
No, when she
No,
first
you
went there.
said that there was a big green spot in the center of the crater.
the whole crater?
Oh,
I
just
think
the
it
whole
was.
crater.
Is a verdant, like
Gotcha.
awash
I
with
thought
life.
you meant like there was like a big spot in the center that was.
My bad if I made it sound that way.
I actually also thought that because I was expecting like a patch of grass or something like that in the
The
middle.
whole thing,
so-
the whole
I
thing,
heard-
the whole thing is layered with like moss, and I'd say the
Right.
deeper into the center you go, maybe the thicker the moss and life. But
Okay.
simply if nothing else, because it seems to pool there.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
I heard it as you were like sliding down. There was like a patch where there wasn't a body, and it was like lush and green, but just like a small like, just to make it that
Yeah.
underneath all the bodies.
Maybe I
was,
need
like-
better descriptors of what I'm talking about.
That's what I.
I'll work on that.
Okay. And I was gonna investigate the especially green spot, but since there's none, I'm gonna.
It's all green, baby.
So we're going out of here now.
I think back to where we came down. We go up the rope.
was this
Yeah.
way, right?
And Lexi says, "Forward march."
as
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
No worries.
BC is to give me the plants, I'll let you know that anytime if you have any plants, I can always preserve them and bottle them up for you going forward.
Oh, I'm gonna hand him my like hearty handful of tree nuts, and just be like, I got these.
That's a lot. And I'll bottle them up. So
Go ahead and subtract that, Kelrona, and add that,
preserve.
and we'll get that going. And with the ability to use the rope and to plant your feet, even if it's on slippery ground, you're able to easily pull yourselves up
Mhm.
on backup, thanks to Zerdos's firmly placed knot. You rolled
I guess-
20 on your knot skills.
I guess once everyone's up, I will undo my knot and reclaim my rope.
Awesome.
Okay.
And a lot of you are able to see the tower overhead, shining in the dim moonlight of Guthay. Guthay is the larger moon that tends to shine down on you. It's got this sort of purplish look about it. Rawl is more of a red stone, smaller in the night sky. They're almost always sort of paired with each other.
Would you all like to try and approach the tower under the cover of darkness, or should we
I mean, I was.
find a way to take a bit of a rest or
Yeah, I was
find
thinking
some shelter
that.
for the night?
Yeah, I was thinking that resting would be best.
I think going towards it and resting somewhere near it, so we're further away from here, going back towards the crater. It would be better.
We gotta climb the tower so I can see if Kagi is in the gift.
Yes.
First thing in the morning.
hmm
And Beastie, you can tell generally from the distance of the tower that you'd be able to look down. It's far, but you'd be able to spot half giants. You may not be able to spot regular people so easily, given
Okay.
the fairly substantial distance from the crater. But a half giant, the way a half giant walks, the way a half giant looks, you'd probably be able to spot Cog from there.
Okay.
Because that seems kind of like what you're alluding to. So I'm asking a question that wasn't necessarily asked, but I feel this.
Would you say that you could spot a half giant because you can tell by the way he uses his walk? He's a woman's man, no time to talk.
All right. If you had inspiration, it's gone now.
Jenny's like, you know what?
It was
I'm
worth
gonna
it.
just pick this area to camp in,
Keep your
and
inspiration. I'm not real.
she starts
I
walking
don't actually know if I had
through
it
the
marked,
darkness.
but I think you said I had a fading inspiration that might have
Yeah, I
might
think it was
actually
just
be
for that.
gone anyways. So.
I think it was just for that zombie battle. Although
Yeah.
I do this for everybody. If they had a great backstory, and I felt yours was great, you do have a lasting version of that.
Alright.
So you do have one because you gave me a beautiful document.
Jenny
that
just
was
face palms
detailed.
and walks off into the darkness. I'm going this way. Doesn't even know which direction she's going in.
Is she going towards the tower or just off away?
Just off away, like randomly into the forest.
Fantastic.
Did someone get Francesca?
Let's just. I mean,
No.
what I'm going to do is
I
if
didn't.
you kind of walk off, I'm
Yeah.
just going to kind of pull all of you down here
Yeah.
to simulate like a thicker wilderness.
Yeah,
if
no
that's okay.
worries, because I totally forgot that's where the bird was.
Oh yeah, and there's the bird too.
Yeah.
And the bird looks at you. Francesca is like just gnawing on the grass, and she looks up at you with this sort of sleepy look, as if it has no idea what happened to y'all. And it chirps a little bit like. "Meow."
I'm gonna give her pats because she's good Burby.
She lowers her head and lets you pat her head, and then when you stop patting, she kind of like looks at you and like pecks at you a little bit.
I'm gonna
Give me
keep
more.
patting.
I'm going to pat it as
Okay.
not full
And she will continue this ad nauseum.
I will pat Francesca for my stress therapy of seeing more death. Not to pat her because she likes it, but for my own needs.
For
Therapy
though,
bird.
even though it's really for yourself, Francesca notices this and she starts kicking one of her legs as you do so, and she'll basically like squat down. Her legs sort of disappear underneath her core body, still occasionally grazing the grass that's so fertile here. She looks happy to have such a wonderful feeding ground.
I'm gonna set up a campfire if I can without burning the forest down. Probably.
Sure. Give me a survival. That is, well, actually, I think your, what would I say? Your passive survival is so strong that you could just do campfire.
Oh,
Okay.
The only time, if you were trained in survival and your passive is like a 10 or more, you're good to go. Unless it's like raining or snowing or there's some condition that makes it difficult.
See.
And so
Super
you
comfy.
see, I would say you see Jenny easily putting together a campfire.
Should it go out and hunt dinner for us?
So are we resting here or further out?
I assumed here.
We can kind of assume that. Oh no, we can't assume because we were doing stuff with the bird.
I don't know.
gonna-
Where,
I can delete the. I can
so we
delete the.
can lead her.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'll just untie her so we can lead her away to like where we want to camp.
Yeah, no worries. You can delete the items and you can pretend like Jenny's just like pulling out her bedroll and she's like, wait, we're not camping here? And she like slowly puts it away.
Well, I don't have another wilderness map, so we'll just pretend this is farther out.
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Because we're going closer to
The tower.
yeah.
The tower, right?
Yeah.
With the idea of
we
being
could
not
say you're
too far from
over
it.
here.
Yeah, basically.
Hi, Francesca.
Yeah. Boom. There you are.
Okay.
It's cool.
And so,
Or gonna shoot a
distancing
bird.
yourself from the crater, but remaining in the verdant area, Heatherly sets up a campfire. She unrolls her bedroll.
Who's Heatherly? I mean
Uh-huh.
Jenny.
Jenny.
Oh.
Jenny, 'cause I'm
Heatherly.
looking at your face, so now I'm thinking you instead of your character. I need
We
to
should,
fucking delete all your cameras.
We should keep a close watch tonight. The dead in this city, I believe, are crawling out of this crater. So.
I'm going to set up my trap in like an open path, like right here,
Okay.
between the crater and camp, kind of.
Alright.
I only have one though, but I'm gonna set up my camp there. My camp, my trap.
Gotcha. Cool. I love that we were able to use this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
And
I'm
I'll
thinking
set
about
up my
putting.
bed
I'm thinking
wall.
about making tents available too. If you ever actually get a
Yes.
proper tent, but you got to buy a tent, and somebody's got to carry that shit because they're heavy.
Yeah.
Just throw it on
Maybe
the
get-
bird again.
Maybe get a carry kank.
Carry cane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, before we sleep, I'm going to just go out into like, further into the forest and maybe like set out my hunting trap to see if I catch anything throughout the night.
Sorry,
We
it's
should set it up here so that it also protects us by the crater.
Oh, that would be a good idea.
Because I sent mine up on the other, like, open access path.
There we go, like that. Although,
Tag team in this shit.
yeah, although mine does not look like that. I wish
Yeah,
it was a
neither
big
does
bear
mine.
trap.
Yeah, it's
Um,
just it's a symbol.
Yeah, it's like a little snare with like the loop rope thing.
Alright.
Yeah.
And you set up your traps for the night. And who's taking watch and when?
I'll pick first.
I'll
Nadia
join
will-
Astos.
Nadia will accompany you, Heatherly.
Okay.
I'm
I
sorry,
was-
Nadia will accompany you, Jenny.
Okay. I was gonna join Astos on the first
Oh,
watch.
okay.
Yeah.
Then she'll accompany Beastie.